Happy New Year 2021. I hope you had a great New Year or New Year's Eve. I did a wonderful class on New Year's Eve that was really like a sort of a self-reflection type of a class, which was really nice. And so today I am excited to talk to you about a plant that is going to give us some insight into the whole 2021. And that plant is dandelion. And dandelion is giving us the message that we need to be a little bit more adventuresome in 2021. Hopefully we can be. But before I start, my name's Allison, and I'm an herbalist, educator, and ecologist. And I've started this Flower Power Live because I love plants so much. I love sharing what I know about them. And so thank you so much for joining me here. I have a favor to ask of you, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, if you would be so kind as to just write a comment in the comment section and let me know, what do you like about the Flower Power Show? It's kind of a show, I guess. Do you like the more insights? Do you like the medicinal parts of the plants or stories? Or just let me know what your favorite part about the show is so that I can make sure, and it would be really helpful for me to get that feedback from everyone. So today I'm going to talk about dandelion. What I did was I got this new tarot card. Oops, it's upside down. Herb Crafter's Tarot, and this is just an amazing deck. The artwork on this is just beautiful, and this deck has some kind of medicinal plant in it. And because it was new, and because I wanted to get to know the cards a little bit better and how the deck works, I did this spread. It's a 9-card spread, and it's called the Year Ahead Spread. I thought, oh, isn't this perfect, right? So I did a year ahead spread, and that's a circle of 8 cards, and each card represents a time of year starting with the winter solstice, each of the seasonal transitions plus the midpoints in between, which are sort of like traditional Celtic holidays or others more earth-based celebrations. So I did that and got some really interesting information about 2021. And then what happens is the 9th card, which is in the very center of the spread, is the kind of the approach that we need to take in order to have the best year, to be able to sort of benefit from the insights for 2021. So that card was, sure enough, dandelion. And so I thought what I would do is, well, why not use this for my plant of the week? So let's just get started in a little bit with the basics of dandelion. Dandelion, it's called the common dandelion, was brought from Europe. It's native to Europe and the more eastern hemisphere. And it was brought to North America from the marauding hordes, sometimes known as the colonists, who came here. And they felt it was such an important medicinal plant that they brought it with them, and some other plants too, some of the culinary herbs that they brought along as well. But dandelion, as you know, has wind-borne seeds, and so it's spread all over North America. It gets its name from the French phrase of dent de lion, which means tooth of the lion. And I was lucky enough to find some at my local grocery store. Yeah, my dandelions do not look like this in January. I probably could have gone out and found one and snipped a few teeny tiny little leaves. But as you can see here, the leaf has all these little teeth on it, and it's indented, and that's a distinctive feature of the dandelion leaf. So that's where it gets its name there. And it's an important early blooming plant. So a lot of things that are still waking up, the dandelion comes out and blooms early, and it can be an important source for bees and other pollinators. I've even seen it planted in fruit orchards as a way of helping to attract the pollinators over and help to pollinate the fruit. And it also has a super deep tap root, and the root is, of course, one of the important medicines from the plant. And that's great for herbalists, and it's like horrible for the green lawn people who don't want any dandelions in their lawn, because digging them out can take a bit of an effort. So I'm just going to encourage you, don't try to kill it, dig it up and use it as medicine. So let's see here. Oh, so you can go out and collect your own dandelion pretty easily during this when it's in season, or during the growing season. But I just want to give you a quick word of warning. It is pretty prolific, but just make sure if you're going to go out and harvest, and this goes for any plant, you want to stay away from really highly traveled areas where there might be a lot of pets that are urinating on the plants, or there might be herbicides or pesticides being sprayed. You want to stay away from those kinds of areas anytime you're wild harvesting any kind of plant. Now, one of the best things about dandelion, of course, is the seeds, the puffy white seed head that it has. And as I was doing this, I just, went back to my childhood, or that image of a child making a wish and blowing the dandelion seeds off to kind of go on the wind wherever wind might take them, and just loving the magical part of that. And this is kind of part of the message from dandelion this week and this year, is to be like the dandelion seed. So let me share with you a little bit more about the medicinal uses of dandelion. The leaves, as we have here, of course, can be eaten. They're often eaten first thing in the spring. After wintertime, you'd be eating a lot more heavy foods if you live anywhere in the northern or far southern latitudes, and there's not a lot of green around. It's a good cleanser. You can eat them, you can cook them, you can put them in salads. You can also throw the flowers into salads, and you can make like fritters out of the flowers, and of course you can make dandelion wine. But I have made the fritters one time, and they were pretty good. But I think it's an acquired taste, let's put it that way. But the best part, or the most potent part, of course, of the dandelion is the dandelion root. And it's very well known as being a liver support. If you have not really for liver disease, but for like general everyday support. And if you have a sluggish liver, you can have inflammation and poor digestion and acne, skin issues. So it's something that can be used on a regular basis just to sort of maintain your health. And the best way to do that is cheers with a cup of dandelion tea. Now, you can buy any kind of tea, roasted dandelion root tea. It's really easy to find. I just get this in my regular grocery store. And it's just a great thing to have all the time. It's related to chicory, which is also a type of a root that gets roasted for coffee substitute. I wouldn't exactly call it a coffee substitute, but it is good to drink, and I do love teas. And that reminds me, I now have a blog where I am posting all my notes from this session, or these sessions. And in there, I have the links to all the resources I used, including a resource to Learning Herbs, which is one of my favorite sites, that shows you how to harvest and roast your own dandelion roots. So if you're the adventurous type and you want to try that out, just check back. I'll link the blog below. The live stream, once it is done, will be down in the comments. So on to one of my favorite parts, the flower essence. Now, I have personally used flower essence because I am a dandelion flower essence type. And that type is the type of person that tends to overwork, just get really intense with their work and doing too much, and holds a lot of their stress up in their shoulders. So the flower essence helps to kind of release the need to be so intense, to balance and allow a person to let go of some of these thoughts that they're clinging on to, and to balance their kind of play and work a little bit better. Now, the card, the oracle card, so the flower essence is a very good match with what this card is telling us this year. I wanted to tell you a little bit more about the card. Within the tarot deck, if you've ever used them, there's a series of cards that's called the minor arcana, and that's kind of like the suits in a regular deck of cards. And then there's another whole series of cards called the major arcana, which are all these different more human and deity type archetypes that are represented on the cards. And Dandelion is the very first card in that archetype major arcana part of the deck, and the name for it is the Fool. This is let me make sure it's not too shiny. So this is, let me get it close, there we go. The visual on this card is that there is a basket of dandelion flowers that have been harvested, and the basket is on the ground, and it's surrounded by the 4 cardinal directions. But inside the basket, you can also see the dandelion leaves, those nice dentate leaves, and they are pointing in multiple directions. This message means that there are many opportunities and lots of ways that you could go with dandelion in 2021. So the dandelion message is to be open to adventure. Be willing to set aside your predetermined expectations for what you think you should be doing in 2021 and to live life more fully. Be bold and audacious. Wear the bright yellow dandelion color, right? And be mostly like the dandelion seed. So allow the wind to take you to where it might go. Be ready for that, because when you go, you can always come back. Remember, the root of the dandelion is firmly rooted at home. And so when you come back, you'll have a seed head full of ideas. So that's the insight from dandelion for this year. And like I said, I pulled the whole year, the whole wheel of the year for 2021. And I'm currently working on a YouTube video for that. It takes a lot of work to edit things down. But I'll be posting that on my YouTube channel, which is just The Well Cultivated Life. And I'll post that in the Facebook page as well once it's ready to go. And that will have a more detailed description of all the different times during the year. So until then, I hope you have a wonderful start to your year. Remember to be playful and allow some adventure on your life journey, wherever it may take you. And thank you so much again for tuning in to Flower Power. If you're interested in knowing more about plants and getting involved with a community of people that are also learning and sharing, feel free to join my Flower Power group on Facebook, where we'll be sharing more ideas and getting more in-depth into the more medicinal and energetic uses of plants. So until then, remember, leave a comment below on what you like the best or things you didn't like, or what any feedback would be super helpful. And I will see you again next week with another edition of Flower Power. Everybody, have a good week. Bye-bye.